Hey guys, it's Mathel here once again, and safe to say this is the build. It's the build of the league for me, I think. People always ask me, what's the best build I played in this league, what's the strongest, best DPS, most fun, whatever. It's gotta be this one. We somehow managed to save the best for last, and this one is not for the faint of PCs. So basically, it is cast on crit Cyclone with Desecrate, Volatile Dead, and Detonate Dead, alternating. You only really use whichever one you want. You're never using both at the same time. Most of the time when I'm mapping, I'm using Detonate Dead, but I do have plenty of examples of Volatile Dead in this video as well, since I've been using it probably about 50% of the time. It's just a personal preference sort of thing. I think Volatile Dead overall is a lot stronger, but it is also a lot frame rippier, and as well as that, in some situations, it's a bit slower on the ramp, because you do have to initially get all of the balls going. Once they're all going, they're going to continue to spawn and destroy things well before anything gets a chance to do anything. But Detonate Dead itself has some serious front-loaded single target, and it's just a bit more satisfying to map with, I personally think. So if you're going to play a build like this, I do encourage you to just swap in and out between Detonate Dead and Volatile Dead as you see fit. But Volatile Dead with Spell Cascade, the way I'm currently using it, is just the biggest frame destroyer in the game at the moment, I do strongly believe. Even without using any microtransactions, just the default reason of spawning 10 volatile balls, something like that, per crit. This right here is the biggest example of the worst frames you'll ever see in the game at the moment, I think, and that is a Legion with spawning 10 of these balls per crit, and you can crit up to like damn near 10 times a second with the right amount of cooldown recovery and proc rate and all of that when you're hitting all these things. And it's pretty unplayable, but it's also hilarious and completely fine because the skill does the carrying for you. It homes in on everything, so when you're completely lagged out and can't do anything, doesn't really matter. It's going to do it all for you anyway. So that's what the Volatile Dead looks like, and I did get into a 5-way action to try out the Volatile Dead as well because of its strong homing ability and huge amount of ramp and stacking damage. A 5-way Legion is actually pretty comfortable on this character, and it was probably the best 5-way Legion I've ever done on any character. I got to 4 full bars. That's without any super speed items or headhunters or anything like that. Just my regular character, which is of course a Cyclone and a cast on crit Volatile Dead beast, so it's kind of got the best foot forward you can possibly have for a 5-way, but it still is, as I said, probably my best 5-way by far, and that's got to count for something up until this point. And I did try out Detonate Dead as well on this one, but it is obviously going to be a little less fast because it doesn't have these homing projectiles. And then a lot of the time I was using Volatile Dead for my deepest delves, which is about 650 at this point, so it's no real laughing matter for a regular build, but I was using Volatile a lot of the time just because it creates more balls to then chase things ahead of you, but as well as that, it also destroys more corpses, which is pretty important for a lot of the delve type mobs out there. You want to destroy their corpses, but a lot of the time I was Detonate Deading as well. I'm not sure there's a clear answer here. It depends kind of on the layout, depends on the monsters you're facing and what the map mods on the delve are. Because some of the toughest map mods I came across at around 650, Detonate Dead just felt a lot better on, and I did end up doing more Detonate Dead. But from the cruisier, easier ones, Volatile is just going to kind of clean up a bit faster and a bit more effortlessly. And then onto the single target. So this is probably the most disgusting single target I've seen thus far. Even though a lot of them seem very disgusting, it's hard to kind of beat running in and one-shotting the bosses, but these feel like faster, bigger one-shots. A lot of the time I could take down Hydra before he did a single attack. A lot of the time I could take down Minotaur or Phoenix before he could do a single attack. These are tier 16 synthesis maps. This second one even had like 70% more monster life or something, and with Detonate Dead and Detonate Dead Vile version, popping them both just means you're gonna like have stupid, absurd single target. And then I'm also using Volatile Dead for Chimera, simply because the homing projectiles are gonna take out the ads before you have to worry about them a lot of the time, but it is a bit frame rippy, and once again, not at all necessary. Detonate Dead is totally fine here too, but we're also a fairly tanky character and can take a lot of the damage that these chimeras and whatnot were throwing about, so you can do some slightly rougher maps as well. And then this is my very first attempt at an Uber Elder on this character, and that was with Detonate Dead. I've done 2 Detonate Dead kills and 1 Volatile Dead, and I'll have the Volatile Dead in full in just a second for you guys, because it was pretty filthy. It was ripping my frames and lagging me. I fucked up, and it was still one of the easiest kills I'll ever have. And then at the very end of the video, there's just a quick little rip clip. If you hang around, you will be rewarded, I do think. But that's about it for the character. I will look into if it's possible to make as a starter version, because it's a very worthwhile build, and I'd love for people to play it, but it definitely won't function the exact same next league, as items are going to be a little harder to get. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Oh my god. Like, it actually lags me. How often do you like straight up lag yourself? Yeah. I mean, Volatile's fine, but fuck me, I think it's worse than a regular Detonate. At least it'll kill whatever tentacle dudes that spawn straight away.
M'lady.
I think we got him. Didn't have anything to attack for a second there. What if we do that, eh? Just get ready for the next phase. We did it! Potentially never lucky, but potentially sometimes always lucky. Let's check. What the fuck? That was the unluckiest thing I've ever seen.